And welcome back. It's the week of What If, and we got our one shot for Tuesday. This comes from some newborn Viking who asked the question, what if Cybermen were in the 40K universe? Now, if you ever wanted to know more about 40K, if I could ever get Mark back on to do videos on the channel, you'd want to talk to Mark. Mark is the 40K expert, 100%. I have a passing knowledge, but it's not a huge amount. That being said, I do know about factions, space marines, things like the Necrons. I know enough about 40K to do this What If. The Cybermen, me and my girlfriend are currently going through all of Who, at least the Who there, it's available to watch. We're currently, I want to say, a little before midway into Tenet's run, because I believe Tenet had like 3 seasons, right? Was it 2 or 3 seasons? I know he's still with Rose. I know that, but we've met the Cybermen at least once in his run when they're in the alternate universe. And since doing this, I've looked into a lot more Doctor Who, all that. So I do have probably better knowledge on the Cybermen than I do, say, the 40K universe. So, who/what are the Cybermen? Where they come from usually varies. In the first episode, we see them in the New Who, in the Tenet run. They are the result of a man trying to prolong human life and evolve them to the next step, melding with the technology. Where they come from in other medium, I'm not sure yet. We haven't gotten to more episodes with them yet. But generally speaking, how they function is that they're not androids. They are technically cyborgs. There's a human body in there. It's stripped down. They completely get rid of all your emotion. So you just have the logical, cold thinking nature of a machine added on with a human intelligence. And you basically get Cybermen then. And Cybermen are fierce. They are dangerous. They have insta-kill weapons on them. They are physically powerful. Cybermen are dangerous. But they're not infallible beings by any stretch of the means. They can just be destroyed with regular, not guns or anything, but like a grenade can theoretically blow up a Cyberman if it were, like, say, point blank at them. They can be destroyed. Problem is that they're kind of like the Borg in that they just keep assimilating people, and they do it pretty quickly. They will take people and turn them into Cybermen pretty darn quickly, and they don't do it kindly. Even the Borg take their time, and even with all the metal they put in them, it still looks like it's natural. Here, oh no, they chop you up while you're still breathing and turn you into a Cyberman. So they are very dangerous. They're also very uniform. They're very soldier military-like in their way they perform their actions. The problem is they are slow as hell. Because they're armored and they don't really fear anything because they don't have any emotions left. At least they don't feel fear in the traditional sense. They can feel concern for their well-being, but they don't feel fear. As such, they are like speedy individuals can just outrun them, really. They're just going to get ran down by the Cybermen who are just going to keep going and going and going without any issue. So how do Cybermen fare in the 40K world? And the answer to that I think is kind of interesting. I think if the Cybermen existed, they would first off have to evolve past their standard, the forms we see within Doctor Who. The reason for that is a space marine is a super soldier in a mech suit. That'd be a very interesting who would win, a space marine versus Master Chief, because both are super soldiers, both are enhanced physical suits of metal that are, F up. They are armed to the teeth with weaponry. They would make mincemeat out of the majority of a squad of Cybermen. Honestly, they would. The Cybermen, 40K also has its own, let's call them Cybermen, and the Necrons. Now, the Necrons are a weird race. They are, as it's described, they are mysterious xenospecies of humanoid robotic skeleton warriors that lay dormant in their stasis tubes for over 60 million years. Though they have begun to finally awoken, they are soulless creatures, former servants, and now the captors of ancient Satan, the terrible star god of what's the name? Aldari myth. They are ancient beyond reckoning, predating even the birth of the god that we just talked about. At long last, however, they are beginning to awaken from their tombs, for the galaxy is ripe for conquest and restoration of the Necron Empire. The Necrons are completely robotic humanoid species whose technology prowess is probably unmatched by any other intelligent species in the galaxy. Yet out of desire for vengeance against their more fortunate, long-lived ancient Xenos people called the Old Ones, and the trickery of godlike intelligence known as the Satan, the Necrons shed their original organic forms and lost all forms of compassion and empathy. Very similar to Cybermen. They have instead become ruthless, undying killing machines who are determined to exert their mastery over a galaxy once more. Actually, a bit more like the Daleks than the Cybermen. Although the Cybermen are still kind of like that too. All Necron, from the lowest warriors to the most regal, are driven by the ultimate goal to restore the ancient ruling dynasty. As such, the etiquette long ago encoded in their minds and commands to fundamentally being that they cannot be denied. If billions of Necrons have been destroyed by the passage of eternity, countless billions more remain. That's another problem right there, is that the Cybermen are not just going to have to contend with the Necrons or the Space Marines. They're going to have to contend with everyone. And the 40K universe has some beast individuals in it. Beast individuals who could wipe out the entire squad of Cybermen without really much of a thought. So, as I said, for them to be able to even last in the Doctor Who world, they have to up their game. They have to actually view the technology of the 40K world and try to advance the Cyberman with that technology. Despite how the Cybermen kind of think of themselves as the pinnacle of evolution, they would actually realize there is more to learn in this world. And so you would probably actually get much more monstrous versions of Cybermen based on, say, like Space Marine armor, or even like, say, they might even go to war with the Necrons. Unfortunately, when it comes to that, they're going to lose out hard because they just don't have the numbers. Even the Daleks, for the amount of numbers they had, say, like, I'll go with the season 1 finale of Doctor Who, where they had that ship, and they even said that's like 500,000 soldiers. That is a drop in the bucket compared to how they describe billions upon billions of Necrons. That is nothing to that. 1% of a billion is a million. That's 0.5% of their numbers. They would lose on sheer, because while Dalek weapon, if the Daleks were in Doctor Who, that would be a very different, because Daleks actually have a considerably more advanced weaponry, including energy shields, stuff like that. So it'd be a bit of a different scenario here. But the Cybermen, unfortunately, while they are definitely powerful, they need to upgrade. So if they're able to upgrade, if they're able to actually incorporate new technology from other individual races and start to incorporate those races into the Cybermen body, particularly if you're getting, say, Space Marines, who are already super soldiers in their own right, that enhances the physicality of the cyborg even more, because you already have physically enhanced individuals in there to begin with. Again, add on the fact they do have instant kill abilities, at least with base humans or base humanoids. More advanced humans might be more resistant to it. And then you get a force that could actually pose a threat to a degree. I think the problem with the Cybermen will ultimately be their numbers just lack. They would have to literally be conquering millions upon billions of individuals to stand a chance within this universe, because the amount of soldiers that can be thrown at them from any side outweighs the numbers the Cybermen have ever had overall. Unless you're like looking over every time period and like combining them together. And even then, that's debatable. So the Cybermen would probably try to go on their conquering tour, only to be stopped dead on their tracks by, say, Space Marines or of different kinds. And I know there are multiple different kinds of Space Marines. I'm giving you the Cliff Note version simply because the 40K universe is so vast and I know only so much about it. But yeah, I would say that the Cybermen probably couldn't stake out a foothold in the 40K universe. But they would never be able to conquer it, because not only do you have to deal with all the other races that live there, there are also demons, gods, among other things. So they also have these supernatural entities that could wipe the floor with them, honestly. Again, that's the Cybermen. If we were going with one of the races more like, say, the Daleks, or hell, even the Time Lords to a certain degree, we would definitely be having a different conversation then. Zygons would be an issue because they're shapeshifters. Hell, the Toy Maker. The Toy Maker is a unique individual even in Doctor Who. So the Toy Maker could be a problem. I'm just trying to think of anyone who... What the hell is that? Oh, I know. Sorry, 1 second. I just saw, what the hell is that? Oh, no, there was a trailer selling kicked up on in the screen behind me. Like, oh, God. I hate when that happens. I'm just trying to think of any Doctor Who threat, theoretically, that could really pose a problem in the 40K universe. The devil from season 2, as he is described, in theory, could, I suppose. The Master is just another Time Lord gone rogue. So he's only one Time Lord. Like the Doctor thrown into the 40K universe, he could probably survive, but he wouldn't be like able to do much. I don't think. It's a very different universe with some similarities. But yeah, overall, I think the Cybermen would be not unique within their world, with the world of 40K, but they would be able to find their place in the world of 40K. I do think that. But I digress. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Have a good one.